Hey YouTube, Matches 860. Smoking the Friday Savinelli with some shandy gaff from Cornell and Deal. Gonna talk a little bit about summer entertainment. Growing up, very first toy I remember was having a stick horse. It was just like a broom handle with a vinyl or rubber horse head on it. Couple of reins. You'd run around with that because at the time there were a lot of Western shows and movies on TV. Westerns and World War II movies were big back then. Remember Phil had one too that his mother or father made for him. Out of an old broomstick and probably a block of 2x4 with some kind of cloth over it, face painted on it. I remember him having to let him use my good horse every once in a while, and I'd get stuck with his crappy one. But you could run around playing with those for hours. Of course, every yard had a swing set in it, metal swing set. Usually a meeting place for the kids in the area, somebody's yard. Start swinging on the swing set, and they were never anchored properly. One leg would always come flying up and down out of the ground. But you could hang around a swing set for an hour or two, deciding what you were going to do for the rest of the day. Another early thing I remember was there was a TV show called Ripcord. It's about a couple of skydivers. They came out with this plastic guy attached to a little plastic parachute. Throw that up in the air. Parachute would open, the little plastic guy would come down. Used to have all sorts of adventures with those. Along with balsa airplanes. I think we used to call them gliders. Mine always either got stepped on and crushed, or it got stuck in a tree. I think they were like 10, 15 cents. Get maybe one or two of those for the summer, and that was it. After that, you were shut off. Real hot days. Trying to cool off. You always had a squirt gun, water balloons, lawn sprinklers. I remember when, I think it was called Slip and Slide came out. This plastic sheet that you'd put out on the lawn. When you got it all wet, and you tried to run on it, it'd slide all over the place. Another good thing for keeping cool and keeping you busy for a few hours. One of my favorite things was probably Army Men. I think they sold them in the bag. Go out in the morning with about 12 Army Men. Set up these battle scenes. And geez, if you went out with a dozen Army Men, you usually only came back with about 4 of them. I had a lot missing in action in my yard. Another kind of favorite memory was getting invited over to somebody's house for a cookout. It was really more for the parents, so whoever was hosting Cookout would always have games for the kids. Usually croquet, badminton, or a wiffle ball set. Another way to keep the kids out of the parents' hair. Couple of fads back then too. Hula hoops. The main thing you did with a hula hoop was make your body go back and forth with this hoop around your hips and make the thing stay going around and around. But we invented all kinds of other games you could do with them. Roll them around, throw them up in the air, get underneath them, use them like a jump rope. Simple toy, but it kept us busy. Yo-yos. Now I remember when Frisbees came out. I don't think my mother wanted to buy me one, so I ended up with a cover to some plastic container. Worked just as well. Had Matchbox cars and trucks. They were the forerunner to Hot Wheels. All Hot Wheels did to Matchbox was put springy wheels on them. But those were another item. You took them outside and you were lucky if they made it back in the house with you. Must be millions of those buried around the country. What else we got here? Marbles. I was never into marbles that much. Cap guns were fun. Until some big kid came along and he'd say, "Hey, give me a roll of those." He'd put it down on the sidewalk and drop a big rock on it. Sound like a firecracker going off. I can still remember the smell of that after the caps would go off, that burning gunpowder. Of course, you always got a spark in the eye too. That was part of playing with cap guns. Lots of fun. Kids now have it too easy. They don't have to imagine anything. They can just turn on an electronic device and they got entertainment to keep them busy. But such is progress. Tell me down in the comments what your favorite toy was. Adventures you had. That's my little ramble. Thanks an awful lot for joining me, and have a great weekend.